Welcome to TMZ Live. Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So we have some information that we can tell you about. We haven't really talked about this before, but we will now. And it involves Mel Gibson, and it involves what happened at the Golden Globes last night, because clearly it was the moment. And we can give you a little bit of background that you probably haven't heard about this whole business that Ricky Gervais brought up. You've probably heard about it by now, where he made reference to something that we reported when this 2006 DUI occurred, when Mel allegedly said to a female deputy, what are you looking at? Sugar blank. Another word for boobs. And just in case you didn't see it, this is what happened last night at the awards.
What the sugar even mean?
I don't know. Ask the guy that said it. It wasn't me.
So
Now, Ricky Gervais could have no idea what he was opening up here when he made that joke, right?
he had no idea. Absolutely no idea. Now, let us explain. We broke the story about Mel's DUI arrest in 2006 and the 4 pages that the police officer, the deputy, left out of his final report on orders of the brass over at the LA County Sheriff's Department. And those 4 pages were filled with all the anti-Semitic stuff. The Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world and blah, blah, blah. So Mel was taken to the Sheriff's Department in Lost Hills, where he was put in jail, still drunk, and did a bunch of stuff according to the people there. And we reported a lot of the things, and one of them was that he supposedly looked at this person.
At his female deputy and said, what are you looking at? Sugar
Blank.
blank.
So, Mel, if
It all made sense, by the way, because like you said, he was still drunk. We know he was still drunk when he got there. He'd already ranted about all this other stuff. So it makes sense.
Well, and
that he
also,
would say
Charles,
that.
in the scheme of things that we reported that day, I worked on the story back then with Harvey a lot of years ago. In the scheme of things, that is the funniest, least horrible thing that he said. And so why would he ever challenge that he said that? And at the time, Harvey, I remember his people being adamant he didn't say that. That they kind of were like, with
adamant.
the Jew stuff,
They
were like,
They weren't adamant. They just said, well, you know, he didn't say
sugar.
He said all the. My point is, he said all the other horrible things.
And it seemed
sugar
like
boobs. He didn't say.
It actually seemed like a joke. But
yeah, it did. It was like exactly. It felt at the time too like.
Okay, but this is crazy that you're giving Mel Gibson the benefit of the doubt here, right?
No, we're not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I actually have some information. So Mel insists, and his people insist, he didn't say that. Now, I made some phone calls this morning, and what I can say is that there seems to be a dispute here because the people are not taking back what they say he said. So that is kind of the situation we're at right now, which is a standoff.
Now, to Evan's point, remember, Mel Gibson was drunk at the time, so it's entirely possible he doesn't remember saying that, and his people weren't there, so they're all going based on what Mel told them, right?
And also, on top of that, Mel Gibson has a storied and well-documented history of going off on crazy rants and saying ridiculously offensive things. And if you listen to some of the things he said in the past, I bet he doesn't remember saying them because he sounds like he's in such a rage.
So hold on. So let me ask you this, Evan. Do you not give Mel something here that if he's copping to all of the anti-Semitic comments that he made and is conscious enough to remember those, which would be the convenient things to forget, yet if he's copping to those things, doesn't it seem kind of superfluous for him to lie about sugar blank?
I honestly believe that maybe he doesn't remember seeing it, but I feel like the people that were, the law enforcement sources that we based the story on originally were probably in a better position to know, seeing as they were right about everything else.
And they were sober.
Well, there is the sober part.
But I mean, look, he will remember the bigger strokes, the more offensive things that he said. Quite honestly, he's going to remember those. But he may have thought of sugar boobs as like a flippant little thing that he wouldn't.
This
forget.
is the Sharon Stone comment. What are you going to do? Arrest me for smoking? It's like that's the least of
Can
the
I say one
issues
last
there,
thing?
right?
No matter what he said or didn't say, this was an opportunity for Mel Gibson, I thought, for him to really kind of change the narrative on this whole thing and say, you know what, I said it, let's move on. By him denying this little piece of the whole thing, it just seems like he's just dredging this whole thing up again and digging a bigger PR hole for
See,
himself.
I disagree because he allowed Ricky Gervais. I mean, they had a deal clearly, and I think you'll hear this from Ricky, that they had a deal that Ricky made fun of the whole thing, the Jew thing, the whole thing. And I think the only thing that was unscripted was the last part. But Mel did open himself up and agreed to go on stage and knew he was going to do it.
But he's denying it, so now the whole discussion
is raised
again.
He's denying the one thing. He's just saying, I didn't say that one thing, but he's being consistent on that. Okay,
so here's what Ricky said about it. Yeah, we got Ricky out, and here's what he said about ribbing Mel Gibson.
What did Mel Gibson say to you afterwards? Anything backstage? Was he annoyed?
No, that was our interaction. He seemed okay with it. I think he knew why he was there. Yeah. I think he expected to have a little bit of a roasting. He does every time. So yeah, he was cool. I think. I hope.
It's called blackout drunk, and some things of the evening get blacked out.
Well, he remembered the Jew thing.
Well, the bigger things that you do,
he remembered the Jew thing. By the way, Mel Gibson, after the Golden Globes last night, hit the town with his new girlfriend, who is gorgeous. She is 24 years old. She's a trained equestrian writer who is now becoming a writer, a screenwriter.
That's the one department Mel Gibson didn't slow down in. He has been dating hot, young, foreign girls ever since this happened.
She is beautiful.
Yeah, unbelievably beautiful. And apparently Mel's with her, and this was the first, public, here she is to his peers. Okay,
we got to move on. Lamar Odom got some good news.
Yeah, got some good news about Lamar Odom. Actually, 2 bits of good news with Lamar Odom. He is now out of the hospital. And we saw him out driving around in the San Fernando Valley. He wasn't driving; he was in the passenger seat, but he was out in the valley over the weekend.
And he looks lucid.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he looks like he's
he looks like he's got things together. So that's a good sign. And on the legal front.
Yeah, listen, we just found out that the Nye County District Attorney is not going to charge him for any of the cocaine usage or being under the influence of anything. It's a hard case to serve, and being the fact that he almost died from this OD, it's really a hard case to prove.
Well, but then it's not just a hard case to prove, but we did some research on this, and we couldn't find a single case in Nye County, or really just about anywhere, where somebody ends up going in the hospital and really seriously injured as a result of an OD, and they end up charging them with possession. It just doesn't happen in the greater scheme of things.
It's Harvey, it's being under the influence. And of course, anyone that overdoses is under the influence. So it's not that proving they're under the influence is pretty easy. Their bloodstream, he had a ton of cocaine in his bloodstream. But you're right, everywhere. I talked to a couple other people, Harvey, about this today. Anywhere, it is very uncommon to prosecute anyone like that for when they overdose and they're a drug addict, they go to the hospital because they were on drugs and they overdose. I mean, it's very obvious they were on drugs, but you're right. The Nye County feels the same way as most counties do in the United States, that if you're a drug addict and you overdose, they're not going to put you in jail for being on drugs.
They'll give you a pass.
They throw you in jail so that it curbs your behavior. Lamar Odom right now, if this doesn't curb his behavior, guys, he just got out of the hospital. He's in a rehab facility from last week. He just got out. And Lamar Odom is in a rehab facility learning how to walk and talk and read and write, and every single bit of his life he has to redo. I hope that curbs his behavior.
Yep. Okie doke, we got something to show you.
Yeah. When we come back, Hollywood reacting in, this sounds weird to say, but the most awesome way possible to the news about David Bowie's death. Happened right in the middle of the Golden Globes, and we have some footage that shows how they reacted. Also, we are going to have with us the legendary producer Nile Rodgers, who worked with David Bowie, what he knew about David Bowie's battle with cancer. Welcome back to TMZ Live. I described it to Harvey this morning as a gut punch when we got the news about David Bowie dying. Really.
Did you write that last night, by the way?
Yes, I was about to go to bed and then saw that it was on his Facebook page and we put it up, but it was really hit me hard. It's like one of those when the people you grow up listening to and you really admire die, it really hits you hard. But listen,
hits your mortality a bit, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it is. But Sunday, of course, this happened on Sunday night in the middle of the Golden Globes. So there were some parties going around Hollywood, in particular the HBO party, and they announced it to everyone. Everyone was shocked, but I got to say, kudos to the DJ, because he decided the best way to mark this was just sort of have a David Bowie dance party, and check it out. Everyone was having a blast. So he played, this went on, the video that we've seen, he played at least 5 songs in a row, just David Bowie, and the crowd loved the whole time. Everyone's singing along there.
Okay, so it's very surprising because a lot of people, most people I think, I certainly didn't know he was sick, and yet it seems like this was almost choreographed, that he had an album that came out on Friday, and it looks like that album was designed to be the last thing before he died. I mean, there's a lot behind this that we all didn't know.
No, so we figured we would talk to someone who probably knows, definitely knows more than we do. Nile Rodgers, the legendary Nile Rodgers, the producer, musician who's in Chic, and also produced a lot of hits with David Bowie. Some of those that we just heard, actually. So Nile Rodgers joins us right now. Nile, how are you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Okay. I'm sure you heard me describe it as a gut punch when we heard the news. Where were you when you heard it, and what was your reaction?
It was really difficult for me because I had just gotten into bed. I had just come home from Los Angeles because my mom is ill. So I was half asleep when someone called me and said, "My God, what happened?" And I thought that my mom had passed away. I was shocked. And then the cobwebs cleared and they said it was David. And I was blown away. I didn't know, especially when they told me that it was cancer. I was completely, as you said, what did you say, gut punched, or it took the air out of my lungs. I couldn't believe it.
Niall, it's really extraordinary that so many people had no idea that he was even ill. Did you?
I didn't know that he was ill. Well, a few years ago, they had mentioned that I believe the press said that it was a heart attack or something like that, or something heart related. And then my charity was giving me, they were honoring me, and they asked me who would I want to give me the honor, and I said David Bowie, of course. And it just so happened that Iman was being honored that exact same night. So he told me that he couldn't do it, but he sent an amazing film. And in the film, I could see that he wasn't the same Bowie that I had last worked with. I noticed that his speech wasn't the same pattern that it normally would be. Normally, he'd just call and go, "Nile, blah, 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 blah." It's pretty much the same rhythm I'm speaking to you in now. And sorry, that's Time Magazine calling on the other line.
No
sorry
problem.
about that.
Hey, they can wait.
They can wait.
Niall, it's amazing to me. I don't know how you react to it. He released an album on Friday, and in the album, I believe that one of the songs is talking about going to heaven.
The first song, the opening lyrics of Lazarus, says something like, "Look at me, I'm in heaven now."
It's like he. This whole thing, it feels like it was almost timed where he let go as soon as the album came out.
I've heard this. I've yet to go to Tony Visconti's website, who produced the track. And according to what I've heard, and you can't take this as the gospel because I haven't seen it personally, but I love Tony and trust him. Tony said that this was something to the effect of David's last offering to us, his last gift to us. Wow. So it seems like he did have some awareness based on what I've been told. So please keep that in context, based on what I've been told.
No, Niall, that actually kind of jibes with, if you see the video, even the music video for Lazarus, really seems like he is making references to being close to death. Yeah.
Niall, it's so sad, but thank you so much for the time, and you can now, speaking of time, pick up the telephone.
Yeah, you can talk to Time Magazine.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, Niall. Appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Niall.
Take care. See you again, guys. Soon.
Okay, we're going to take a break.
There's a great plan for anyone who's trying to figure out what to do with the $1 billion you seem to think you're going to win in the Powerball later this week.
Only 900 million.
It'll be $1 billion, trust me.
No, it's actually, I take it back, it's $1.3 billion.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, it's $1.3 billion.
There you go. Well, here's what you can do with it. Buy yourself a mansion.
And you'll have plenty of money to spare, by the way.
Yeah, this is a bargain if you've got Powerball money.
We broke a story on the website over the weekend that the Playboy Mansion is going to go up for sale, and we said that Playboy Enterprises wanted $200 million for this mansion. It's 6 acres of prime real estate in the Holmby Hills area of LA, which is one of the most exclusive. But our real estate sources are saying that given comparable prices there, that its top dollar would be $90 million. Well, it has already come to pass just 2 days after we broke the story.
It has officially listed, and not surprising at all, the agency and Hilton Highlands have dual listed this property, which are the 2 biggest agencies here in LA. They're asking the $200 million. There's not a chance they're going to get that. Think about it. The Aaron Spelling Mansion, what do they get? $85 million for that, and that's right down the street.
There's no way.
And Aaron Spelling Mansion
much bigger.
And this one is super duper old. It was built in 1927. It's so old. They really haven't redone it. It's a total tear down.
It is a tear down. I mean, folks, I mean, I hate to say it, and everybody's looking at this thinking $200 million. It is a tear down.
But you have to remember, it is 7 acres too, and there is a lot of history there. You know, the grotto, obviously, lots of crazy stuff has happened there. They also have a zoo, an atrium. Yeah, lots of stuff on the property, a game room. There's also a guest house.
And that all goes. So now here's the most interesting part of this. Hugh Hefner is in his 90s, he's 89 right now. And we have found out, and they have not announced this part yet, but we found out whoever buys it is going to buy it subject to a life estate on the part of Hugh Hefner, which means he has the run of the house for the rest of his lifetime. So whoever buys it can't really touch it until Hugh Hefner dies.
So you can't
and then
move
they can
in.
Do whatever they want.
You can't move in. You can't raise it.
He's not going to be your roommate in the Playboy
That could be
Mansion.
years and years down the road. And not only that, also, one other thing we included in that is that you can't go into the master bedroom when you go to look at the house. You can look at the grounds, you can look at everything else. If you're interested, you can't go in his bedroom.
So you can go in the bedroom if you actually make the deal. Then you're allowed to look, which doesn't make a lot of sense because who cares?
What the bedroom
you're not going to be able to use it or really any of the rest of the house until he dies.
However, you probably get a free pass to all the parties, right? Until he dies.
That's actually an interesting point. I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, at least, look, if I can't, I'm going to put the money down. If I can't move in, if I can't knock it down, at least let me come party.
Do you have to, like, make dinner for him and stuff? Like, if he's living there? Like, you have to,
no,
like,
you
provide
don't become
meals?
his servant.
Yeah, no.
Oh, my God, my friend is in that photo.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
my God, that was my friend in that photo.
Okay.
Which I'm not pointing out which one. Actually, 2 of them. Anyway.
2 of them?
Let's move on.
You don't get the old man, Monica. Jeez.
Okay, wait.
You don't get like
Charles,
stuffed Hugh Hefner when it's all said and done.
Which of the 2?
Yeah,
Moving
you're
on.
hanging out
I'm
with
not.
Well, you dug this hole.
Yeah, and by the way, those girls don't have friends.
Here's the thing.
There's no
they
friends
do
of
have
those
friends,
girls.
and when they first come to town, everybody's got to do what they got to do to make some money. All right?
Is that how you know?
I'm not saying.
Wait, what the heck are you talking about?
No, I'm saying that. Never mind. We should just move on. That's not what I meant.
Okay,
I'm not worried about this at all.
We are going to take a break. When we come back, Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is back in the United States of America. Never
Charles, your wife's on the phone.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk to her?
My wife is friends with
she's right here.
My wife is friends with that woman also. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. I know. You know what? And no matter what I say, you guys go, ooh. We're working with a bunch of 12-year-olds.
It's Pauly Shore, Scott Baio, and Charles, apparently.
When we come back, Justin Bieber. Goodbye. Welcome back to TMZ Live. Yes, let's talk about Justin Bieber and what he's been doing. We got him out in Beverly Hills, and now this is the hotel where he's living.
He stays. He lives there.
And he was out walking in front of the hotel smoking, which did not sit well with whoever.
Well, we don't know, but
this
it
guy
sure looks
is
like he's looking askance at him because that's near the front door of the hotel,
and there's no
guests
smoking
walk
in
and
the
out,
hotel.
Yeah, you guys. So the photog that took the photos actually claims that, you know, the guy who was standing at the front door told Justin Bieber not to smoke in the front door, close to the front door. But Justin Bieber does whatever he wants.
Yeah, but here's why I'm not so sure, because they have to be taking that picture from the street, and you wouldn't be close enough to hear the conversation. So I'm doubting the specifics of the words, but it might be that the guy politely asked, but Justin Justin Bieber probably spends north of $1 million at this hotel every year because he stays there full time. So I'm guessing
if he wants to light up a little bit outside the hotel, I'm sure they.
By the way, this is after he came back from Mexico after pissing off the Mexicans.
And this is also after New Year's resolution. He said he was going to stop smoking.
Well, that's the least of the problems right now. He's pissed off Mexico.
Pissed off Mexico and Mayan gods by, dropping his pants and drinking beer. Dropping trout, drinking beer on the Mayan ruins. So he's going down a bad path again.
Hey guys, I'm Rafael. I'm from Miami, Florida. And I think it's really funny how Justin Bieber, he can do whatever he wants. If someone comes in my place and they spend over $1 million, I'm going to let them also do whatever they want.
One would think, right? Hey,
does he have a room? Is there a room available when Bieber comes to town?
Yeah, I mean, I see him many times. When he comes here to Miami, I see him many times.
I'm going to put you on hold, and we're going to send you a TMZ poster for that wall.
Okay. It is a very bare wall.
We just don't want people to think you're in prison, We're looking out for you.
Not that there's anything wrong with people in prison watching. We like it when people in prison watch.
We'll see you tomorrow.